Commander of the faithful, I was born in the great city of Baghdad and left an orphan while still a young man. My parents, may Allah have mercy upon them, died within days of each other, leaving me a modest inheritance. Through tireless effort, working night and day, I built this fortune into something greater, until at last I found myself the owner of 80 camels, a wealth that made me prosperous among the merchants of our city. These camels I hired to traveling merchants journeying to distant lands, and I often accompanied them on their expeditions. Each journey brought me handsome profits, and my reputation grew throughout Baghdad as a man of enterprise and success. One day, I was returning from Balsora, where I had delivered a supply of goods destined for India. At noon, I halted in a lonely spot that promised rich pasture for my 80 camels. While resting in the shade of a tree, a dervish traveling on foot toward Balsora sat down beside me. We exchanged greetings and shared the food we carried, conversing pleasantly about our journeys. During our conversation, the dervish mentioned casually that in a place not far from where we sat, there lay hidden a treasure so vast that if my 80 camels were loaded until they could carry no more, the hiding place would still appear as full as if untouched. At these words, Commander of the faithful, I confess that joy and greed seized my heart. I threw my arms around the dervish's neck and exclaimed, "Good dervish, it is plain that the riches of this world mean nothing to you. What use is knowledge of such treasure to a man traveling alone and on foot? You could carry away only a handful. Tell me where this treasure lies, and I will load my 80 camels with it. In gratitude, I will give you one of them." I know, Commander of the faithful, that my offer sounds meager, but at that moment a wave of covetousness had swept over my heart, and I almost felt that the 79 camels remaining would be nothing. The dervish perceived what was passing through my mind, yet he answered calmly,
"My brother, you know as well as I that you behave unjustly. I could have kept my secret and reserved the treasure for myself. That I told you of its existence shows I had confidence in you, and hope to earn your gratitude by making your fortune as well as mine. But before I reveal the secret, you must swear that after we load the camels with all they can carry, you will give me half, and we will part as friends. Surely this is fair. If you give me 40 camels, I give you the means to buy 1,000 more."
What he said was perfectly reasonable, yet the thought that the dervish would be as rich as I was unbearable. Still, I had to accept his terms or lose this immense wealth forever. So I collected my camels, and we set out together under the dervish's guidance. After walking some distance, we reached what appeared to be a narrow valley with an entrance so tight that my camels could pass only one by one. This small valley was enclosed by 2 mountains whose sides formed straight cliffs that no man could climb. When we stood between these mountains, the dervish commanded me to make my camels lie down so we could easily load them. Then he kindled a fire from dry wood, threw perfumes upon it, and spoke words I did not understand. Immediately, thick smoke rose high into the air. He divided the smoke into 2 columns, and before my astonished eyes, a rock standing like a pillar between the mountains slowly opened, revealing a magnificent palace within. Commander of the faithful, such was my love of gold that I could not even pause to admire these riches properly. I fell upon the first pile of gold within reach and began heaping it into sacks. The dervish also set to work, but I noticed he collected only precious stones. Thinking this wiser, I followed his example. At length, the camels were loaded with as much as they could bear. Before sealing the treasure, the dervish approached a great golden vase, beautifully crafted, and took from it a small wooden box which he tucked into his robe. He said it contained a special ointment. Then he rekindled the fire, threw on perfume, murmured a spell, and the rock closed completely. We divided the camels and marched out of the valley until we reached the high road where our routes would part, he toward Balsora, I toward Baghdad. We embraced, and I poured out my gratitude for the honor he had done me in sharing such wealth. Then we parted and turned away, hastening after our camels. But I had scarcely rejoined mine when the demon of envy seized my soul. What does a dervish need with such riches? He alone possesses the secret of the treasure and can return whenever he wishes for more. I halted my camels by the roadside and ran back after him. Being a swift runner, I soon caught up with him. My brother, a thought has occurred to me that perhaps is new to you. You are a dervish by profession, living a quiet life, caring only to do good, unconcerned with worldly things. You do not realize the burden you place upon yourself by gathering such wealth. Moreover, no one unaccustomed to camels from birth can manage these stubborn beasts. If you are wise, you will keep no more than 30, which will be trouble enough.
You are right. I confess I had not thought of this. Choose any 10 you wish and drive them before you.
I selected 10 of the finest camels and proceeded to rejoin those I had left. But having found the dervish so accommodating, I regretted not asking for 10 more. I looked back. He had gone only a few paces. I called after him. My brother, I am unwilling to part from you without pointing out that managing a troop of 30 camels requires great experience. In your own interest, you would be far happier in trusting 10 more to me. With my practice, it matters not whether I drive 2 or 100. Again, the dervish made no objection, and I drove off 10 more camels in triumph, leaving him with only 20. I now had 60 camels, yet I could not be content. Commander of the faithful, there is a proverb that says the more one has, the more one wants. So it was with me. I could not rest while even one camel remained with the dervish. Returning to him yet again, I redoubled my prayers and embraces and promises of eternal gratitude until the last 20 camels were in my possession.
Make good use of them, my brother. Remember that riches sometimes have wings if we keep them selfishly, and the poor stand at our gates, so we may help them.
My eyes were so blinded by gold that I paid no attention to his counsel. I looked about for something else to grasp. Suddenly, I remembered the small box of ointment the dervish had hidden. Most likely it contained treasure more precious than all the rest. Giving him one final embrace, I remarked casually, "What will you do with that little box of ointment? It seems hardly worth taking. You might as well give it to me. Truly, a dervish who has renounced the world has no need of ointment." Oh, if only he had refused. But he held it out at once, saying gracefully,
Take it, my friend, and if there is anything else I can do to make you happy, you must tell me.
The moment the box was in my hands, I wrenched off the cover. "Since you are so generous, tell me, I pray, what are the properties of this ointment?"
They are most curious. If you apply a little to your left eye, you will instantly behold all the treasures hidden in the bowels of the earth. But beware, touch not your right eye with it, or your sight will be destroyed forever.
His words excited my curiosity to the highest pitch. "Make trial on me, I beg you. You know how to apply it better than I. I am burning with impatience to test its wonders." The dervish took the box and, bidding me close my left eye, touched it gently with the ointment. When I opened it again, I saw spread before me treasures of every kind and number. But keeping my right eye closed all this while was most fatiguing, so I begged the dervish to apply the ointment to that eye as well.
If you insist, I will do it, but remember what I told you. If it touches your right eye, you will become blind instantly.
Alas, Commander of the faithful, despite having proved the truth of his words in so many instances, I was convinced he was concealing some hidden virtue of the ointment. I turned a deaf ear to all he said. "My brother, surely you jest. Is not natural that the same ointment should have 2 such opposite effects?"
It is true nonetheless, and it would be well for you to believe me.
But dazzled by greed, I thought that if one eye could show me riches, the other might teach me how to possess them. I continued pressing the dervish to anoint my right eye, but this he firmly declined to do.
After conferring such benefits upon you, I am most reluctant to work you such evil. Think what it means to be blind, and do not force me to do what you will regret as long as you live.
But I would not listen. "My brother, say no more, but do as I ask. You have generously responded to my wishes until now. Do not spoil my recollection of you for such a small matter. Let what will happen fall upon my own head. I will never reproach you."
Since you are determined, there is no use in talking.
Taking the ointment, he applied it to my right eye, which was tightly shut. When I tried to open it, heavy clouds of darkness floated before me. I was blind as you see me now, commander of the faithful. Miserable dervish, so it is true. Into what a bottomless pit has my lust for gold plunged me. Now that my eyes are closed, they are truly opened. I see that all my suffering is caused by myself alone. Good brother, you who are so kind and possess such vast learning, have you nothing that will restore my sight?
Unhappy man, it is not my fault this has befallen you, but it is just punishment. The blindness of your heart has wrought the blindness of your body. Yes, I have secrets, you have witnessed them, but I have none that will restore your sight. You proved yourself unworthy of the riches given you. Now they have passed into my hands, from whence they will flow to others less greedy and ungrateful than you.
The dervish said no more and left me. He collected the 80 camels and proceeded on his way to Balsora. In vain did I entreat him not to abandon me, but to at least take me within reach of the first passing caravan. He was deaf to my pleas and cries, and I would soon have died of hunger and misery had not some merchants come along the track the following day and kindly brought me back to Baghdad. From a rich man, I became in one moment a beggar. Until this very day, commander of the faithful, I have lived solely on alms bestowed upon me. To expiate the sin of avarice that was my undoing, I oblige each passerby to give me a blow before they give me alms. This, commander of the faithful, is my story. When Baba Abdallah had finished his tale, the caliph addressed him.
Baba Abdallah, truly your sin is great, but you have suffered enough. Henceforth, repent in private, for I will see that money is given you daily for all your needs.
At these words, Baba Abdallah threw himself at the caliph's feet and prayed that honor and happiness might be his portion forever.